Hey everybody and welcome to the Bullshit Party. And in this one we're gonna be taking a closer look at a vehicle that I've been contemplating getting for a while now. That's right, the Oppressor. Oh, what's that? That's the thruster? Okay, so we're gonna be taking a closer look at the thruster. It's on discount after all. I mean, how bad can it be? And in this video we're gonna be taking an unbiased, in-depth look at how it feels, plays, and most importantly, flies and fires its weapons. And before we get started with that, please consider giving the video a like, and if you're not yet a subscriber, make sure to subscribe. And after a short 15-second cutscene and 25 seconds to let the game load, we are inside the facility. And of course I came out the wrong side, so let's go to the other side to get to the jetpack. I'm very excited about this since the jetpack was one of my favorite parts of GTA San Andreas. And we're almost here, boys, it's time to get in. I said get in. Is the game broken? What's happening? I was expecting a prompt or something. Maybe there's a bug, so this is what I'm gonna do. Since I love waiting through the unskippable animations and the loading screen so much, I'm gonna exit the facility and enter it back. And I'm sure that fixed it, so I really can't wait to get in the jetpack. I'm not really familiar with it, and I believe there are some customization options, which I'm really looking forward to. So, let's get in. Oh, I know, maybe I need to use the Avenger to access it for some reason. And of course that wasn't the case, but I'm very happy that I did it because I was able to look at the gorgeous loading screens for a couple of more seconds. So then I thought to myself, can the game be this stupid that I need to get in the vehicle in order to customize it? No prompt, mind you. What a shock. And if you couldn't already tell, well, I'm gonna spell it out for you. At this point, after all this, the thruster's fighting an uphill battle. And here we have all the customization and performance options available to us. And unlike with the cars, here we are gonna start with the armor. So we're gonna put 100% armor on this vehicle. And just remember that for a little bit later on. And next up we have the engine improvement. And I absolutely support the decision not to display the graph of how much you're improving your vehicle. That's not stupid at all. And for countermeasures we can choose between chaff and flare. Would have been nice to visually see what we're buying here, but again, this is not how this one works. And if you want to visually customize your thruster, there are 25 different livery options that you can choose from. As you can see, the ones that I have available look pretty much the same in between them. I have no way of knowing what the ones that are locked behind the bunker paywall look like, but I gotta say there are a couple of nice ones at the bottom that are free. And seeing how expensive everything else is, I'm gonna go with a free livery for this. And just like with the cars, changing the color is gonna be the last thing we do before we leave the workshop. For weapons, you have an option between miniguns and missiles. Are you buying them to keep forever, or do you need to buy extra ammo for them every time it depletes? Once again, the game does just a fabulous job of explaining itself. And finally, we have thrust, which I have no idea what it is or how to use it. Once again, thank you so much for not explaining, it makes the entire experience so much better for me. And while I'm on this tangent, no, I'm not gonna read anything extra about the game. I shouldn't be forced to read external sites about something that the game should provide as information. Honestly, in my opinion, this is stupid, this is just horrible game design. But who knows? Maybe it's gonna be awesome on the outside. Maybe it's gonna be a magical experience as soon as we leave the warehouse. And there's one thing left to do before that, and that's to choose the secondary color of it. And since I'm going with this weird space, purple, whitish, black theme, midnight blue looks like the way to go. And with that, it's time to leave the facility and see what this thing can do on the outside. Okay, so which one am I choosing here? Great! And we are on the outside, so let's see what this thing can do. Well, apparently it can hover. That's good. And going into first person view doesn't show anything new. Nope, nothing to see here. And just to remind everybody, no, I haven't used this vehicle before, never flown it, first time. That's great, the game's telling me something. If I want to deploy flares, I need to press the right D-pad button. And because I bought something that was called the thruster earlier, I just assumed that you use it with an X. Apparently that's not the case, and if you press X, missiles are gonna start flying out. Aside from that, flying this thing is gonna take a little bit of getting used to. The best I can describe it is, if you've played GTA 4, try to think of what flying a helicopter there was, but the helicopter didn't have a tail. At least the flares work. But on to the main reason that I got this. I got it for mobility. And since GTA Online now supports calling your car from the interaction menu, I want to see if the thruster has the same option. That would in fact make it valuable for me, and I would probably use it daily. And after a particularly bumpy landing, let's see what the interaction menu looks like. And if you're not familiar with the interaction menu and the vehicle section of it, well, I'm gonna drop some knowledge on you. And usually as soon as we return our personal vehicles, request personal vehicles becomes an option again. But apparently that's not the case right now, so I got confused, I ordered a different vehicle, so let's just skip ahead a little bit. And as I was taking off, I noticed that I still don't see an ammo count, and that's probably because I turned off the HUD option from the menu. So I hit the options button with the triangle by mistake, and this was the result. And at this point, I gotta say, I was very sad to see that all it took was one fall from my thruster to be completely destroyed. I admit, I haven't played San Andreas in a while, but I don't remember that being the case over there. And also remember when I told you to remember that I'm buying 100% armor for this thing. As annoying as it is, 100% armor is not gonna cover that. So let's call the mechanic and get the waiting for the cooldown timer, and when it's done, then we can request it. And after waiting for a bit more, I get into it before almost knocking it over. And this time I turned on the map and the HUD options to see if there are any visual cues as to what's happening. I don't see a difference yet, but let's see what happens. The way the thruster exploded last time wanted me to see just how durable it is. And yes, I do realize that it's an older vehicle, so it's probably not gonna be as good as the ones that were recently released, but still. I mean, even with the discount, I paid almost $3 million for this. And I'm not sure if my tone translates well through video, but I'm not really happy with my purchase so far. So let's see if the mighty thruster can at least go through some trees without taking damage. I don't know about you guys, but I'm completely shocked. And keep in mind, this was with 100% armor. And just as an asterisk for the video here, yes, I do realize that it has weapons, it has a speed boost, it has all those good things. But you know what? As soon as I saw that I needed to pay $10,000 more to get my thruster replaced, I did this. That's right, I shut off the game. And then I did this. 16 years old, but a million times more satisfying. I was very open-minded when I saw the thruster on a discount. I mean, it's an item that basically the players forced Rockstar to put in the game. And I don't know if it was just me having a horrible experience with it, but it seemed like it didn't really work. Oh, and see, in San Andreas, when you hit a tree, you don't explode. Which takes me to my biggest gripe about the thruster. It honestly seems like it's only there to milk people out of money. With all of its limitations, I'm sure it was great at the time before the Oppressor Mark II came out. But as it stands right now at the almost end of 2020, it's not worth it. I'd say the only reason to get the thruster is so you can reminisce about playing San Andreas, and then force quit out of GTA Online and start San Andreas. As I said a little while ago, 2 generations older, a million times more imagination put into it. And did you know that the Jetpack in San Andreas can do this if you hold down the left 2 and R2 buttons together? And with that information out of the way, I think it's time to end the video. If you liked the video, please don't forget to leave it a like, it really does help out the channel a lot. Let me know what you think about the video in the comment section down below, subscribe if you're not yet a subscriber, and I'll catch you in the next one.